a little bit off, being that what I'm saying, if you don't understand it, you don't believe it, you're not a Christian, or you haven't been experienced by any kind of seeing spirits because somebody played with a Ouija board or any of that at all, it's hard for you to believe. However, be that may, all this is true. Witchcraft Act of 1604 carries over to 1730. There are laws in place, and what you're all trying to tell me is that it was an issue then, that it was recognized by authorities. They had to go in and stop these individuals, but it's not going on currently today. So throughout history, witchcraft, they've actually hung witches and drowned them in Witch Duck River, the Salem witch hunt. All that stuff was true because of what they were doing to individuals, because of the type of witchcraft they were using. Now, I'm not against people using basic sorcery, trying not to hurt people, doing nice and kind things, because there are spells like that. But the dangerous ones, where you're using black magic, yeah, that hurts people. And you are using that. And how do you prove something like that? Riddle me this. Answer me this question. How do you prove somebody has witchcraft on you if the people that you're talking to won't recognize it and they don't say it's an emergency? But if you contact Crime Stoppers, they'll say this is not the place for it. But if you Google, oh, I'm sorry, it's flipped backwards. I'm not prepared for presentations of talking. I don't have a good position where I'm at. But this is what the Crime Stoppers paper says. If you believe in witchcraft and be a Wiccan, that's your business. But when you abuse people's trust, we get involved, Sarah said. Uganda Patrick 44 has been charged with fraud under $5,000, pretending to practice witchcraft. If you can help, call police 905-453-2121, extension 2133, or Crime Stoppers to remain anonymous. 1-800-222-TIPS by visiting www.peelcrimestoppers.ca. Or you can text them. But they'll tell you this is not the place for it. Everything now, currently, in your system, because of what I did by helping Trump and the people that are targeting me, I'm actually very intelligent. If you say something of a problem, I have something for everything. And if you all come to me and ask me a question, I'll give you such a detailed answer that you've never heard before. How can I do that and be a liar? So every time something bad happens to an individual, they try to say it's a mental thing. It's not true. That's how they target you. What they do is they attack your family. They can do things such as cook your brain. And then the next thing you know, your head's hurting all the time and you think it's an extremely long migraine. They can do that with witchcraft. Now, what I'm bringing to you by explaining all this to you about witchcraft is that how dangerous it is, and it's true. And the United States government knows all about it. Germany is consisted of about 40% of sorcery. Their military is consisted of it. And if you think my government's military, Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, CIA, FBI, NSA, behind closed doors, you see all things. If you don't think I know that a lot of you know what's going on, that it's true in the world, here's one. How about going to space? Yeah, that was the biggest lie, NASA. That's why I got flagged, because I can figure and see truth out very easily because I'm such a good investigator when I go on the internet. The exit speed to leave our exosphere is 25,000 miles per hour. You have it on your website, you went 24,500 miles an hour. Oh, and you need what, 4 feet of lead? Because of the radiation that's being emitted from the Earth's electromagnetic field? Yeah, I've studied all that, how Cornell mass projections actually charge our electromagnetic field, and you have a negative and positive polarity inside and outside the Earth, which brings up a positive pressure and a negative pressure, which is 100,000 pascals, and in space there's 1.6 pascals, .0 and some numbers. Yeah, see, I know things that nobody else knows and you can't learn in college. But if you take what I'm teaching you and you go research it, you'll be like, wow, he's right. Yeah, I studied atoms. I've studied all that stuff. I have with me hidden a disorientation card that I'm not showing you. I was at a motel while I was driving around and being targeted by these individuals following me around, and they handed it to me at a motel. I guess they weren't supposed to give it to me. I look at it, it literally spins your brain. You look at it, it spins you, and then you're so confused you don't know what's going on. But they gave it to me as a motel card, and I couldn't get into the room. But I kept it. But I bent it in half, and I stuck it in a thing because I was so upset that it spun my brain that I put it somewhere and I broke the magic a bit. But the filament's still on it and the embedding's on it. How did I get one of those? So if I'm a liar, where did I get one of those? Riddle me that. Why would I have one of those if I'm lying to you about everything I'm saying? I mean, that should be concrete evidence somebody has a disorientation card when they're not mainstream. You can't buy those. That's in the highest of military personnel that has that. How did I get that? I've been being targeted since I helped Donald Trump become the president. Kellyanne Conway said, well, his name wasn't on the ballot. And all I ever wanted was a job at Fox News. That's all I wanted. I wanted to have a life. And instead, this occult wanted to target me rather instead. And they won't stop. They're still continuing on doing it. They won't quit. And you can't see what's going on because from the outside in, from the naked eye, you don't know what really is going on because it's witchcraft. And it is so dangerous, I can't help but repeat that over and over again. And I'm sorry that I have to upload 3 clips to this. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, maybe Part 4, because I got some phone calls that cut me off. And there's a lot that I want to explain to you. How about this? How would I know this? During the time where Tomi Lahren made her video about the Border Patrol, how they need to increase technology and bring some stuff over, she had her videos edited and she redid them again. If you speak to Tomi Lahren, she'll know who I am because they were trying to introduce me to her when I was going to work at Fox News. But they never let me go there. There was one gentleman there that was going to have me go there, but Jesse Walters said, oh, wait a minute, I can say whatever I want, so you can look into it. Oh, that'd be a long walk back. See, I recall all that. I can't forget it. Do you know what post-traumatic stress is? It's an imaging that is set in the brain that when something else happens, you get an associated memory with it. So when all of you are lying to me and you're saying these key word sentences, I can't forget. It's like, why did you say that out of anywhere? And all of you Illuminati, all I wanted was a position at a job, to have a life of my own and take care of my family. But you'd rather beat me down. You'd rather try to torture me and make me look like somebody I'm not and thinking that I'm never going to climb a ladder and have a life. Yet everything that's been happening to me can be explained. My mother started getting attacked right after my grandmother died. If you pull text messages from my mother and I from 2014 to recent, you can even see text messages coming through that aren't coming from her. I got such great proof with me, I can put it all together in the future, and I'm going to. I want all of you occult to leave me and my family alone. And you just don't want to. And I'm telling the truth, everybody. I swear to the Holy Father, God the Creator, and Son, Christ, to the holy angels that I'm telling the truth. I have no reason to lie. I wanted to fix everything, your whole system. I didn't like how the filibuster and your politics, I studied the Senate handbook. I know how all that works. Rule 41 or 44, don't insult the gentleman of the House, how you all go on the platform, how there's so many of you. I know how all that worked. I studied it all. And I was helping with the whole election. Yeah, filibuster meant to pirate. It meant to steal. So whenever you hear the word filibuster in the Senate, when a bill goes to pass, which there hasn't been many, and they do that, and they filibuster it, they put it on a shelf, they write it on a calendar, and they don't talk about it again if they don't want to. They only got to convene once a month. Nothing is ever going to get fixed with mainstream people. You needed somebody like me, I am a presidential candidate, but I know I can't win because I'm being targeted and stopped from everything that I'm doing. I'm going to try to seek publicity, but they get ahead of me and they don't want me to seek publicity because once you hear me speaking, you can tell how intelligent I am because I don't like to lie. I can't stand lying. Whoop! I can't stand it. I would rather be tortured than lie. I don't like to lie. I like to tell the truth because it builds up my holy temple in my body properly, and then what comes out of my mouth is the truth. But if you build up a temple of darkness, what comes out of your mouth is deceit because it's always for your benefit. I don't do that. But all of you that are stealing from me in the government right now, that are writing all those books, that's a lot of books on your administration, Donald Trump. I originally started the trend of that. How did I know? How do I know this stuff? What about memes at Fox News? I'm the one that started doing memes on Google Profile. And what they do too, they shadow blocked me on Twitter as well. I was writing such good things. I have my whole profile saved. Why would I have been shadow blocked? I'm saying such good things. I'm the one that started up the word leaders. I made words such as isms. Sir, yes, sir. Yes, yes, ma'am. Or a military personnel looking at you with a slant. That all came from me. How do I know that stuff? How would I know any of that at all? Riddle me that. Am I making it up or am I just getting lucky on the guessing? Tell me, why am I going to lie about all this? And you people, you witches, there has been witch hunts before. And there has been a lot of witches drowned in the river. And sooner or later, the people get sick of being attacked. And when a collective many get together and know what you're doing, they'll come after you. See, I don't break laws. I follow the law. And I always have. I've just been being targeted for a very long time. I made somebody in the military so mad, he left me a message when I got out and said, "Do you want to be alone forever?" It was one of the scariest messages I ever got in my entire life. They picked me up and took me down to Fort Knox after I was out for about 3.5 years. I was working at Sun Toyota, and they wanted me back in. I didn't want to go back in. I was doing great at my job. I had a good life. Everything was going good. And I apologize for that. But I want to kill somebody. It's not me. I don't want to kill anybody. And I had other stuff going on with that. I had an individual in there that was torturing me. It's a long story with all that, but I'd explain the truth of everything. And I'm not stupid. I'm aware of what's going on around me when people are doing things to me. I always know when you're being deceitful and you're lying, conniving, little, I don't even want to say a bad word. I have no reason to lie. Donald Trump, I should have been on your team or working at Fox News. So now the only way to defend myself, because they're going to continue it on, they're not going to stop, is to make videos. And that's all I'm going to do because I never wanted to be in front of a camera.